Hi guys, Merry Christmas almost. This weekend is Christmas weekend and I am super excited for all the kids that are going to be in our ministry and for all the things we get to do. So I just am going to dive in and talk to you about what that will look like specifically for you as small group leaders, what your role will be. So we will be combined for the weekend. We always are on Christmas, and so we will be meeting in the Quest Theater, and we are going to check all kids in to the zone and out of the theater. So that will be happening. And then we won't be meeting in our typical small groups. Many of you are working in different services, just like the dynamic of our small group leaders and who is where and all of that. So that will feel a little bit different. But if you are at a service, we'll try to connect you with as many of your typical kids as possible. So basically what is going to happen is this year's a little different. Last year was like a more fun service, if you will. We played a lot of crazy games and everything, and so this year we're going to take a more serious approach, and we're just always mixing it up and trying new things. So there will be, I explained some of this in Team Time the last couple of weeks, but there will be a narration that will be done by Kelly and Dan, and there will be some scenes on either side of the stage that will represent the Christmas story. And then throughout the narration, you will have opportunities to talk with the kids. And so really that will be kind of the crux of bringing all of the things together. So I'm going to jump right in. We are going to have you guys sit strategically amongst the benches, and so I will be assigning that during team times. So we'll probably have one adult on every purple bench, one adult on every blue bench, and one adult on the bench behind white, which I can't remember what color that is right off the top of my head. But that way, so the kids around you the row in front of you will turn around, and then the kids on your bench will turn in towards you. That is the goal. And so hopefully we will have enough leaders that we can make that happen. And so those will be your people. So throughout the lesson, you're going to stay on the benches as you talk until the very end. So here we go. You're going to have 5 times that you turn and talk to your group. You are each going to get a bag like this that has your supplies, so it's a little bit easier to manage when you're sitting in the benches. And so the first time that you're going to talk to your group is in the intro time. So we're going to sing, and I'm going to intro like what we're doing for the day. And then we're going to talk about money a little bit, and I'm gonna say turn to your small group, meet them. I'll define like how to find your small group, give them all a high five so they know that you're their leader, that area for the day. And then the first thing that you're gonna give the kids is this little bag, and you're going to give them 5 coins each. And so this is going to be their money. We'll call it a payday. We're going to talk about how they'll need this during the story. And so each child's going to get 5... Sorry, headphone call. Katie Barr's calling me while I'm trying to do my video. So they're each going to get 5 coins, and they're going to get to keep this. And so you're going to talk about how this will come into play during the story. And so this is going to kind of be your meet and greet. Here's your payday. Let's get started into the story. So then we're going to jump into the story, and when Kelly and Dane direct you, one of the things that you're going to do is turn and have the kids sign a census. So again, you're going to go to your bag. You're going to have some paper, looks similar to this, a little old-fashioned, and a pen. I'll put 2 pens in every bag, and there's 2 pieces of paper in every bag, so you can have 2 people filling it in at once. And so they're just going to write their name on here, okay? Just their name. It can be first and last name, or if they just want to write their first name, that's totally fine. And so have every child write on this. Also, during that time, you're going to talk about the reason that they had to go and do the census is also to pay taxes. And so you're going to have them give you 2 of their coins back and just talk about that's what paying taxes is. You have to give money back from your payday. So you're going to collect 2 coins back from each of them, and they'll get to keep the rest. You are going to keep this in your bag. We're going to reuse these for all the services, so keep these back in your bag. And so you're going to just kind of talk about what that would have looked like. You'll just have a few minutes per time that you turn and talk, so be efficient, help the kids kind of stay on track. So that's number 2. Number 3 is a conversational time, and you are going to talk about the favorite traditions of Christmas. So ask kids, what's one favorite thing that they do at Christmas? What's something that their family always does? What's something that they love about Christmas? We're really going to be landing on, during that time, kind of like the craziness of Christmas and about how sometimes people focus on the wrong thing. But their traditions can be anything. It doesn't have to be spiritual, but we're just getting them talking a little bit and opening up. So that's number 3, your favorite tradition. And then the 4th time is right after we talk about the shepherds. So this is when it's going to start getting a little bit deeper. And so I want you to have the conversation about why the angels came to the shepherds. Like, why were the shepherds the first people to know? And I'm going to send you guys this in text as well, but just so you have it. I would encourage you today and tomorrow, just read up on it a little bit and ponder and pray about it. But really, Jesus came to save everyone, not just the rich, not just the smart, not just the elite. And so there's a lot of philosophy out there that one of the biggest reasons that Jesus came to the shepherds is because they weren't important. They weren't the church rulers. They weren't, the Pharisees, the teachers, all of that. And so the angels came to the shepherds because they were humble and they were just there and they were the poor. And the fact was that Jesus came for them just as much as he did the rich. And so the fact that they got the opportunity to share with the world, basically, that the Messiah had come. Another thing is, obviously, shepherds represent Jesus in so many different ways. And so you could definitely talk about that. I think kids would be able to grasp that the fact, like, give them some facts about sheep. Sheep are not smart at all. They're very dumb. And they definitely need a shepherd to protect them, first and foremost, from being eaten by bears or different things. They get stuck in a lot of places. They can't really think through, so they can get stuck in bushes and all of these things. Sheep can't go backwards, actually, so they need a shepherd to pull them out. Much like us, we can't go backwards in what we're doing, so we need a shepherd to guide us. Lots of different analogies for shepherd taking care of sheep and Jesus taking care of us. And obviously the Bible refers to Jesus as a shepherd many, many times. So definitely use that analogy. And then talk about what would it have been like if you were a shepherd and you were there and these angels came. Like, imagine like the craziness of that. This multiple angels. We don't know how many. There could have been thousands, or who knows, but the shepherds were obviously afraid. So talk about what that would have looked like, and then how they would have accepted that, and how they would have shared that with everyone else. So those are all for number 4. You're going to talk about the shepherds and the significance of all of that. And then the last one is going to be at the end. And at that moment, you are going to break off into the same small group that you've been with the whole time, but you're going to step away from the benches. And maybe if some of you want to stay at the benches, that's fine. And so we want you to have a predetermined space in the room that you are ready to move. This is where we really need your help. We want you to move quickly and quietly and kind of keep more of the serious feel of the small group. We're going to keep the lights a little dimmer and music softly playing so that hopefully the kids will stay focused. And really this opportunity is for you to bring it all together. We want you as a small group leader with these relationships to kind of bring it all together. So at that time you will have a whiteboard and a couple whiteboard markers. And so what I want you to do is just talk about like why Jesus really had to come. Like, why was Jesus born? Why was it so significant? And so you can draw a simple heart on your whiteboard and just talk about that we obviously all were born, and you can talk through things that we learned in Rooted about creation, and then Adam and Eve sinned. And so when sin entered the world, obviously we're all born with sin. And then every time we sin, it does something to our heart, right? We have sin in our lives. And so it does all these things. And so you can keep going and you can talk about specific sin when we lie, when we steal, when we fight with our siblings, when we're, disrespectful, when we hate others. And so all of these different things, and they end up taking over our heart because sin separates us from God. And so when we have this in our life. And so why did Jesus have to come? Really, he came not to stay a baby, and so that's what we want to focus on, is that really we don't want to just land on the fact that Jesus was born. We want to finish the story and talk about that Jesus was born so that he could give us everlasting life, and to do that he had to die on the cross. And when he died on the cross, he took away all of our sin. He took away everything. And so when we accept him into our lives, and when we ask Jesus to take away our sins, we are clean and we are pure, and that is what God sees. Even though sometimes we mess up and all of those things, that God protects us from that. So take a few minutes before services and really process that, and have a good solid stand on where you're going to be with that. You can give each kid a heart. These will be in your bags as well, and just they can stick it in their little bag of things, but this is just to remind them that that Jesus came to die for us and to cleanse our hearts. So those will be in there as well. They're all different sizes, all different colors, so there are some tiny ones as well, just so you're prepared for all of that. Okay, so then after that small group, we're actually going to come back together for the last tiny bit of the large group, and then we are going to sing together. And so at that moment, when we are going to sing, we are going to do a kid version of a candlelight service with battery-operated candles, because I'm not a rookie. So you will also have candles in your bag, and so you will pass those out to the kids around you. Please do not do that until we ask you, because once those are out, we know we've kind of lost them. But if you could help them to stay focused, we will be singing Silent Night and Joy to the World, and maybe one or two other songs with our candles as parents come to pick up. So we just want to make sure that we are helping them focus, but at the same time having fun. So I think that's all. I'm so sorry this is so long, but it was important information that I needed to share with all of you. So I am praying for you. I'm super excited to celebrate Christmas with you guys. Thank you for your time. Just please be in the Word and be in prayer over the next couple days as we really focus on what Christmas is all about. All right, thank you. I will see you all very soon. Love you all.